Good evening, Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to News in Focus. My name is Faraz Patel. Jazakallah so much for staying with us, helping your company till 9 o'clock tonight. Now, despite vowing to never work with the ANC and declining the offer to join the Government of National Unity, ActionSA says it will now support the party in Johannesburg. The shake-up in the composition of the executive in the city is beginning to take shape, with the other Gauteng metros of Ekurhuleni and Tshwane expected to follow. ActionSA announced that it will now support the ANC in the city of Johannesburg to form a new government. Joining us now is the ActionSA City of Johannesburg Caucus leader, Nobuhle Mthembu. Nobuhle, good day. Thank you so much for joining us here on News in Focus on Hilaal TV.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for the invite.
It's an absolute pleasure. So, Nobuhle, let's get straight to it. It's quite clear that when you look at the city of Johannesburg, there's various factors that have been, you could see the disgruntledness coming out with regards to the citizens. I want to start off, of course, with regards to service delivery, because I think that's the real cause of the disgruntledness, isn't it? That you see the citizens really saying that the city is not really catering for many of the service deliveries which, the taxpayers are obligated to pay for.
Yes, look, from 2021, the city of Johannesburg has had 5 different executive mayors, and that caused a lot of instability. Hence, we are in this particular situation even today. Service delivery is at a halt. And one of the reasons now is because the loan has not been passed. On Thursday, we're going to council to table the very same loan for the 4th time. So the loan being stalled like it is means there's no money for basic service delivery. Nothing's going to get done. And for the fact that when the city put out this proposal that they're looking for a financial institution to help us with the loan, only one institution came out and said they'll help us. That's AFD. Even the banks that we use as a city did not even give us an offer or a proposal. So that should give you a picture of the financial status of the city. Hence, nothing's going to get done because there simply is no money because of the bad decisions that were made by the people in government currently.
Nobuhle, that very same loan from AFD, I want to touch on that because what the city of Johannesburg residents are going to be asking is there going to be clear oversight with regards to that very same loan, accountabilities, checks and balances? Because at the end of the day, it is a loan and certain interest and payouts have to be looked at with regards to that. So talk to us about that role and how ActionSA is going to play it.
Look, as ActionSA, we've been vocal about this. We didn't even support the loan for the first time it was tabled, even the second time, because we're worried about the high interest rate. And we needed to be finished with some supporting documents to explain why only AFD was the one who came to the city with a proposal, right? And we asked the MMC of Finance for 2 meetings, which you honored, where he explained to us the plan to put in place, how is he going to collect revenue in order to pay this loan, so that the residents are not the ones who will be paying off, this loan over a period of 15 years. So one of the things we suggested to him as ActionSA is there are departments in the city that are not functioning. But if we fix those departments, just like the town planning department, then we'll be able to pay this loan. If we aggressively go after people who owe the city, government department, especially in the provincial government sphere, that we aggressively go after them, then we'll be able to pay off the loan. And in future, we won't have to struggle when we look for a loan. Other institutions will not be scared to offer us anything because we'll be financially stable. So that's what we said to him. And we even raised the issue that there's a lot of assets that belong to the city of Johannesburg. So those assets should be bringing in revenue, but because we've neglected them and people have hijacked them, that's why we're not getting anything. So we said to him, how about we reclaim those buildings back, turn them into low-cost housing units, and turn some of them into student accommodation. And that way, the city is benefiting and the residents are also benefiting. So those are some of the few proposals that we've given to the MMC of Finance, Councillor Dada Movero.
Now, I want to touch on the biggest cause for concern for the residents, and that is that 200 Rand surcharge that has already been implemented on residents who pay, of course, prepaid electricity. Now, when the current city Mayor Kabela Gwamanda said, look, this had to be done because this is the only way it can bring in revenue for the city. If ActionSA and the ANC and whoever else is involved in this motion of no confidence and it succeeds, will this 200 surcharge immediately be reversed and residents don't have to look at it again? Is it that simple?
Look, it is that simple because this decision was taken in council. It was a council resolution, which, by the way, we were outvoted because we were against it. So what we said to the African National Congress is that on Thursday, when we go to council, the item to rescind that 200 rand electricity service fee must be first on the agenda, because we believe that there's other ways we can explore to maintain the energy infrastructure. As I said before, why should we go after residents who are at least paying for that service? What about people who have connected illegally? When are we going to go after them? When are we going to go after departments that owe the city revenue? So that's what we said to them. On Thursday, when we go to council, the 200 rand electricity service fee must be the first on the item. It was taken in council to implement it. So we must go back to council, so we rescind that decision. Then after that, we table the loan and approve the loan so that service delivery can continue in the city of Johannesburg. So in reality, it is as simple as that. The problem we had is that the executive mayor, Councillor Kabela Gwamanda, was going to the media and saying, Councillor Dara Muvero was also going to the media and saying that we are currently reviewing this 200 rand service fee. So they were talking two different stories. As ActionSA, we approached the MMC of Finance and said to him, in order for us to work together or vote issue by issue, you have to rescind this 200 rand electricity service fee. Number one, public engagement was not done. Number two, we cannot depend on IDPs only, because we know quite a number of our residents at that time, they are still at work. So the proper procedures were not followed in order to inform the residents. So let's let this thing go. We can't work on it. Let's just explore other revenues. To be quite honest, it's as simple as that. Going to council and rescinding this council resolution, that's it.
Well, the city of Johannesburg residents will definitely hold you to that, Nobuhle. I want to touch on the actual motion of no confidence. So if you get the numbers, and I want to ask whether you are confident that you have enough numbers within the council to go ahead and pass that motion of no confidence in removing the mayor. What is the agreement with the African National Congress in terms of who would actually be the mayor of Johannesburg?
Look, the agreement between ActionSA and the ANC was that ActionSA will occupy legislative positions, which is like your speaker and your chairperson, which means will be holding the executives accountable. So those portfolios, they are the ones that do oversight. But when it comes to who will be the executive mayor to replace Kabela Gwamanda, Councillor Kabela Gwamanda, it's not up to us. We said we will support any candidate that's credible, that candidate that can represent the residents, right? So if they decide to put someone who's credible there, we'll support. But if they put someone who doesn't have credibility and is dodgy, then I think we'll not support that person. I mean, we've been vocal about that. Hence, we've been speaking out so much against the current executive mayor, Councillor Kabela Gwamanda, because we feel that in that particular position, he's displaced. He's not acting like the executive mayor. He's acting like caretaker of the African National Congress. So that's the issue we have with him. But the ANC, they are in charge of that. It's their baby who they are going to choose. But if it's someone not credible, ActionSA will not support. If it's someone who's credible, ActionSA will support.
Nobuhle, I want to touch on obviously the hijacking of buildings within the city of Johannesburg, and there's so much of it now. Of course, ActionSA has said that it will deal with the illegal flow of migrant workers into the country, and obviously that has caused a sense of controversy. Many people saying that the party doesn't really know how to deal with this situation. Now, I want to touch on that because if ActionSA has this agreement with the African National Congress, how do you now plan on dealing with regards to the current situation that is happening in Johannesburg with regards to migrants, some of them legal, some of them illegal. We can discuss that, whether that's the case or not, with regards to the removal of them and these illegal hijackings of these buildings.
Look, the nice thing about this is that now ActionSA is represented in all three government spheres. So remember, when the discussion started with the African National Congress, they started at a national level when we got those 6 MPs representing us in Parliament. We said to the African National Congress that reclaiming of the hijacked buildings is still our priority. And when it comes to the illegal immigrants that are occupying them because they have housing problems, because they are here with not right documents, they're undocumented immigrants, then they must do something about it, right? But when it comes to the inner city, we still believe that it should be we still believe in inner city rejuvenation, and it's first thing on our priority list. And when it comes to dealing with the illegal immigrants, we still stand by our point. If you want to come to South Africa, you are welcome to come to South Africa. But when you come to South Africa, you must come here the right way and abide by our laws. If you're here illegally, then you should be taken back. Then the government must deal with those people. And I think we are clear about that one. If you break the law, whether you're South African, whether you're not South African, the law should not be easy on you. Look at what's happening in the inner city. People are even scared of going there because those hijacked buildings are harboring criminals. That's not right. The inner city, or Johannesburg as a municipality, used to be a hub for Africa where there was a lot of economical growth and a lot of opportunities. When you look at what's happening now, that's not the case. And we've got a lot of assets that are just there, and people are doing whatever they want and even collecting revenue that we should be collecting as the city of Johannesburg. So that's what we said to them, that, okay, now we're represented in 3 spheres of government. So as much as we're going to tackle this on our level with reclaiming the hijacking of buildings, national government must also play their part.
Nobuhle, thank you so much for joining us here on News in Focus on Hilaal TV. Much appreciated.
Thank you so much for the invite.
That's Nobuhle Mthembu, the ActionSA City of Johannesburg Caucus leader. After the break, we're going to be talking the United States of America. Yes, Joe Biden has stepped down, but Kamala Harris is now in the mix. We'll be talking to Dr. Bob Wekesa after the break.